gosh, I hope that everyone is here actually in the chat because we are here with a very special guest. It's actually the voice of a generation himself, Toady Hawk.
I'm out.
I'm serious. Like that is, I feel like your intro forever now. Toady Hawk, for those of you who don't know Toady, do you want to just introduce yourself and just pretend like maybe a brand new person is watching? Because I know who you are. You've been a major part of my nouns journey. And so let a brand new person know who you are and what you do with the nouns.
Yeah, sure. I'm Toady Hawk, and I'm the founder of the Noun Square. It's a decentralized media collective funded by Nouns. Been doing spaces every single day about nouns, about CC0, about NFTs, about Ethereum, all that good stuff every single day for more than a year now.
Yeah, and I feel like even like that statement is like an understatement because there's like multiple spaces happening every single day.
Yeah, that's like our flagship that we sort of started out doing, and that was like the initial idea was to make a celebration for the internet.
Do we know the number of spaces? I think you guys were like trying to estimate.
I think today might be 369.
Oh, wow. That's huge. And that's just the main Noun Square account.
Yeah, that's just 9 o'clock lives every single day. And then we've done tons of other spaces around different topics and for different sub communities and
Yep.
stuff around the ecosystem. So
I don't know if you watch the live stream. I know you're always like in space.
I've dabbled in the live stream.
Well, every single time I bring up nouns and we go through the site and talk about the auction. And then I always say, if you want to watch the auction, end and the new one begin and help pick the next noun, you got to join the Noun Square spaces. I obviously love the Noun Square. Yes. I like the plan for the Noun Square, I think, is just to keep holding these spaces, right?
That's the plan right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't stopped. So it's like any habit. I mean, anyone can be proud of something you've done for over a year every single day, right? So.
Oh, I think it's like the most like prolific like builder collective in nouns right now that's providing content daily. It's not only just the Twitter spaces. Nikki does an awesome job of doing the TikTok.
Yeah, we got a team doing TikToks. We got a team doing a couple teams actually working on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Different types of videos. We've got people doing, prop review type videos on the governance side. We've got educational videos being done about, OP stack and different parts of the Ethereum blockchain that people might want to learn about.
And also we have to shout out Ugly DAO, of course. We are in Ugly DAO together. It's a collective of people who own two nouns together. And so we also get to vote on all of the proposals. I think I know Ugly DAO is like the most positive sort of like wanting to proliferate in like the best ways DAO. We always like vote up for event props and things like that. So
well, the cool thing about Ugly DAO is it was just a bunch of builders in the ecosystem who are like, we really want to have a stake in the protocol. We really want to own a noun. Yeah. For many of us, spending at the time 40 ETH, was not really a reality. And so we're like, why don't we just pool together like 15, 16 of us and buy a noun together and have a stake in that ecosystem. And then we liked it so much we did it twice. So we have two nouns.
And they're not even that ugly. I mean, I love the box noun.
That's another thing too. We talked about a lot of different names and sort of
a potential rebrand.
Just because we thought it was funny, it was like it had to be a meme.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a nounish DAO. It has to be a meme, right? So Ugly DAO was kind of like, what if we bought like the ugliest nouns that nobody wanted, so we could get them at a discount? Box noun 472 and trash can noun 506. We kept with kind of like the ugly theme, like cardboard box and trash can, but they're not actually aesthetically ugly, in my opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion, they aren't either. And the things that Ugly DAO wishes to see, the DAO push forward with as a whole are not ugly at all. I think they're very beautiful. But I do like the Ugly DAO name, and I love the Noun Square. So make sure you guys, if you are interested in the auction mechanism of nouns and want to see it end every single day, there's one noun every single day forever, which means spaces, I think, for Toady every single day forever. That's what I'm assuming.
I mean, if you know nothing about nouns, what we've tried to do is build a place where people can come and go to one spaces and be like, okay, I get some of it, and then just like follow us and listen to a space every day for a week, and they'll get such a great cross section of everything that's going on. They'll hear from other sub DAOs and other sub communities. They'll hear from like 7 different guests from.
Yes. If it's a weekday, you guys are going to get like the best guests, and you will meet every single person that has started a project within the Nouns ecosystem, whether it be the main DAO or sub communities. I've met so many different people through there and new Nouners.
Yep.
That's a great place for new Nouners.
On to sort of hear their story and why did they join Nouns? a huge thing that, you know, we need to know, right? Why are people attracted to the DAO?
Yep. And what keeps them attracted, and like what keeps a person wanting to like dedicate time during their week to governance. And I think that it's because you actually get a say in the DAO about what it funds. And so, as we saw from all the merch swag, Nouns funds ideas, that's like the tag on every single thing. And we love pushing that idea forward and keeping that momentum within the DAO. So it's obviously.
I gotta give you props for doing this like 3 times a week, because like you can't see, you can't hear.
Yeah. You can only like hear yourself.
Like, do you look like a human? Like
you look great. You know, the live stream is like fun, and it gets easier and easier as we go. And I think it's the first time we're offering a live stream at an event. And so it's definitely a format I kind of love.
So I'm used to Twitter Spaces where we, you know, talking to our phone like it's 1995.
Yeah, I know.
We're working with it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got like 3 cameras now too. So obviously we have so much more that we could talk about, but we are here the next couple days. Are you here tomorrow?
I'm here.
Okay, Toady's back. You were just in the Builder Box space with Prof?
Yeah, that was fun.
How was that? Who was the guest?
We had Carly Riley.
Okay.
Overpriced JPEG, so that was
nice.
Yeah, so she's got a prop up right now on Builder DAO to have Builder sponsor one of her live events coming up. So
nice. I wish Prof was here. I was trying to make it happen, but next ETH Global event, Prof. Again, we have so many different people to introduce you guys to.
We want you.
Yeah, Prof. We need you. We want you. We need you here so bad. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. You don't do a lot of live interviews, so I feel very fortunate.
Is my first one.
Yes.
We should do more of it though. Let's do more.
Yes, I agree. More video.
People to actually go and do it. Like me and Seth were supposed to do it.
Yep.
Get a podcast going, but it's hard. You know, it's hard to.
The hardest thing to do. Yep.
Especially when you're not in the same place. This is a little easier because we're both here, but when you've got to use Riverside or something, it's tricky. Right?
Yep, I'm on that Restream and OBS. I feel like the hardest thing to do is literally push go on the very first episode. Yeah. And just not being afraid that it is live and who cares? You know,
you are killing it.
You learn as you go. Thank you. Well, obviously, we are going to be hanging out the whole next couple of days at the hackathon. So thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us. And for everybody there, say hi. We see people in the chat saying GM. They're probably super excited to see you on camera.
This was a good dry run. So now we'll do the real interview.
Yeah, exactly. I did that with Andrea.
Really?
Yeah, the first interview, she sat down and it was like the lo-fi screen and just us talking.
Like not on purpose?
No.
Oh, shit.
Doing it live. Doing it live, you guys. We're getting better and better every time. So thank you.
Who do we have in chat?
We have, Symbiotex there.
What's up, Symbio?
I have like the chat on here. It's so small. Let's see.
I know, because when I see you come up on TikTok live, I sometimes talk to you and you never respond.
I know, the TikTok's hard.
Does she respond?
I see the little like frog, the Toady Hawk in there too. But okay, cool. We are excited. I'm gonna grab another guest. Thank you, Toady. It was awesome seeing you, and I'm glad that you guys got to hang out with Toady for a little bit here too.
See you later.
Thank you, guys. See you in a couple minutes.
Well, well, well. How the turntables?
Okay.
Hello.
How does it feel?
Feels weird
to be right at the motherboard.
Whew, has a lot of power.
Yeah, we're switching seats here.
Roll a reversal.
Yes.
We got to show this one like what it feels like to always be, grilled.
I know people always ask me like, "What are you gonna ask me before?" I'm like, "We're just gonna talk. It's gonna be okay."
Right, and I've prepared no questions. So
okay.
I should put that out there. I literally was just sitting in your seat and I said, "Hey, do you want me to ask you some questions?" That's what happened. That's what you missed.
Let's do it.
5 minutes ago.
Let's do it. So like, this is the Noun Square right now.
That's right. Yeah. Welcome to the Noun Square X.
Yes.
OTG, OTA.
Even more.
That's right. Ooh.
Yes. Oh, there we go. That's the voice of a generation that we want to hear.
The voice of a toady. That's what it is.
Yes.
All right. So, Aubtoshi, tell us about yourself. You're always getting everybody else to tell their story. Tell your story. How did you get involved with Nouns?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was actually involved with Nouns Prop House Round 1.
What?
Crazy. And then I joined a Twitter space to share my prop, and you were there, and you were like one of the very first people that I heard and kind of met in the Nouns ecosystem. So
I remember that. I was probably very first round of Prop House.
I couldn't imagine. I don't know. Were this recorded at the time? Whoa, there's crazy shit happening behind us right now, by the way. People are like flipping. It's quite the show for you guys at the stream.
We do it live.
Yeah.
Literally.
I was honestly though, like when I used to go in those spaces, like the first 3 prop house rounds, I was so nervous. Like Sheffa will say, like I would like shake and like have like panic attacks before getting to speak and like put the mic on and basically be like.
You didn't seem nervous. You seemed
Okay.
really gregarious, but you did come in like super corpo. You were like, I remember that. You're like, here is my 8-point plan to conquer the nouns.
Oh my God.
This is my business plan to take over the Southwest
Cringy.
quarter in Q3 of nouns.
I wasn't kidding. I was not kidding, you guys. I feel like I've definitely like built on kind of those initial principles that I was kind of talking about in this first prop house rounds.
So I always like to hold your story up as a story of someone who came in guns blazing and then like figured your shit out basically like at prop house.
Live.
But yeah, live. You did it live. And then you got funded. So how did you get funded and how did that start? And then how did you get here where you're like traveling the world, talking to people about nouns everywhere?
Well, I failed 3 times the prop house rounds. And I think by that time people were like, oh my God, like this is so sad. Like she's really coming in, like giving it her all. And it was actually Gammy from Narsdow that reached out to me and said, I think you should focus on one event and propose that. And so like, I don't know if you noticed, but like the last of the 3rd round that I had failed, I had actually said, okay, fine, NFT NYC, stickering, and then who knows what can come after that. I obviously.
And then you still lost.
And then I still lost. But then Small Grants reached out to me and said, hey, submit with us. We'd like this idea. Small Grants funded me. They were my first ever funding.
Wait, you missed a piece of the story. A certain kind fellow named Toady Hawk.
Oh my God, yes! You connected me with Noun 22.
What?
I totally forgot. You've connected me with so many people. Just like you always are that person that like messages like you need to meet this person, and then the next message I get is a group DM.
Yeah.
Where like you're introducing me to them. I'm like, well, that's amazing.
Basically, I just don't want to take response. I'm just like, here, you talk to them.
Yeah, it's up to the person at that point to make it happen.
On Prop House, doing those spaces, I've been doing Prop House spaces every week since Prop House started, basically. We maybe missed 1 or 2 because there was no rounds or whatever, but almost every week we've been doing a Prop House space.
Love it.
And one of the coolest things about it is you see all these people putting in amazing ideas, and sometimes they just don't, like, they don't make it or they don't win. And one thing I think Nouns could be maybe a little bit better at is figuring out how those don't like fall through the sieve and like fall through the cracks. Mm-hmm. And so I've always tried to kind of take some initiative there. If I see something that's really cool and they don't get funded, just be like, here's some other avenues that you can maybe get funded for your idea.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for seeing me.
I'm glad it worked out. Yeah.
Yes, it completely worked out. There's a live, amazing flipping contest happening behind us.
Just to be clear, I will be doing no acrobatics during this interview.
Me either.
This is not like the pre-show of what Toady's going to do later.
Oh my God! When I was in Brazil and we were like at the skate park redoing stuff, like they were like, "Come on, like learn how to skate." I'm like, "I'm good."
JP did it though. I saw.
Yeah,
JP
he was doing it in Crocs.
That's amazing.
He was in Crocs doing it, but I just know myself. I'm like, I can't do the rest of the events with a broken leg, so. Maybe hold off on that. But then after Small Grants funded me for my first time, I did the event. It was awesome. And I know so much more about events now and what can happen. Yeah. And it was a little bit more open. Like I just was like stickers and we'll see where this takes us. And like from the stickering, I was able to meet so many different people, highlight different groups. I went and crashed a Nouner only party, which was epic. Thank you, Noun 142, for sending me the address on that and Gammy.
Let's go.
And I kind of just, made my way and like just continued, I think, to develop relationships. And that's what I tell everybody is like use the time, like the proposal period time to meet people and like see where you're in alignment with certain holders and like develop those relationships. Like continue to do that for weeks. So people really can get on board, I guess, with your specific project's vision.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was able to put in my first on-chain prop. Shout out to Goop Troop. Goop Troop. Yeah, they actually, I don't see them voting much now, but they are the reason I have my first on-chain prop. They sponsored me.
Yeah, Goop Troop was one of the first nouns like sub-DAOs, I guess. Maybe the first noun sub. No, after Shark
that
DAO.
votes with like certain amount of nouns.
DAO.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because they have some nouns, own 2, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They owned at least 2.
Cool.
So that was really cool. And then that was Prop 110. And that was 6 months of me doing that at like 5 or 6 different events. What I did in New York, but like taking it above and beyond. And then I did the Rose Bowl parade with Stupid Buddy, which like showed that we could do like a larger event. And then that's what I was able to put in for my last and final prop, my most recent one, Prop 206, which kind of incorporated all of it. So events, doing live streams to kind of cover them in the moment. And then now we are shooting a documentary because how could we not? Like, as we're going around, not only are we highlighting nouns, we're really meeting these like amazing characters in Web3. And I mean characters as in like, they really come off to the camera like that too. And like, we don't know who we're going to meet in this year that's going to like blow up, you know? And I think like it's such WAGMI vibes. Like you feel that with people, and as much as that's not like what's going on in crypto Twitter right now too, like there is this sense of like, well, maybe we aren't all gonna make it, but some of these people are definitely gonna make it, and getting to like interview them and see what their thought process is.
Moagme, like most of us are gonna make it.
I like that.
Is that a thing?
Moagme. Most of us are gonna make it, or you know, I don't know. The gonna make it thing is so interesting too, because like you have to just keep going. And you know, we do the live stream, but we don't have like as many views as we want, but we will never like, it'll always like, we'll always want more. But I just know that consistency and like just doing it every single day, just like the Noun Square and what you guys are doing. Like I meet people that know about the Noun Square, like, and kind of know who you are just from those spaces.
That's happened to me like 6 times so far. Like, wait a minute, I know your voice. So yeah, I mean, consistency hopefully is paying off. And I know what you mean. It can be frustrating sometimes. You're like, oh, you know, when you're serving a very small niche, you're not getting like hundreds of thousands of people tuning in. Even Farouk and even these bigger guys in Web3 media aren't getting those types of audiences because there's just not that many people in crypto.
Yeah,
but
which is cool. Which is why it's important to like on these streams to kind of also incorporate like pop culture, world news, trying to like connect people to the fact that like we can report on this very niche industry, but we can also report on other things because other things around the world affect this industry and affect the people who are involved in it.
100.
You know, but yeah, I think like every streamer kind of goes to that phase where they say for a year I streamed to one person. And so I think like the same thing with Twitter Spaces. Like
we're talking about you, Super Tight Woody.
Hi, Woody.
What's up, Woody?
But I just think like if you can make it past that, like everyone who's made it on streaming has said that they go through that period. And so it's just about continuing it. I think continuing with the Spaces, we've seen like Mario Newfall blow up.
I was just going to say, your next guest is going to be like a Russian politics expert, right?
Oh my God.
Make it big.
I'm laughing because I'm like, I'm probably not the correct person to do that. But yeah, the whole, he's been consistent with Twitter Spaces, and he's kind of shown that consistency can get you an audience. Yep. But we also saw that he kind of broadened his whole sphere and like reports on everything.
He took his punk off, right?
Yeah,
so
now he's just a guy.
But that kind of comes down to like the niche, and you have to decide, do you love, you know, this space enough to just speak to that niche until the niche grows, without, you know, without trying to have to speak to everybody all the time. But
yeah, and like trying to find the ways that like I know like people would want to be here, or you know, having conversations with the people that are here or would be interested in these projects. And it's just about like, how do you get that first intro down? It's different for every single person.
This time of media is kind of like a public good, I believe, too. Like, it's not just about proliferating nouns or whatever. It's also like your local public access cable where someone really wants to talk about something and has no other place to do it. Well, they can do that down at their local station for free at 2 in the morning. Yeah. And like, that's important to have this type of space where everybody who's been walking around here at ETH Global, they could jump on and chat with Aubtoshi for a few minutes and get their word out about whatever they're working on, and that means something to people, to builders. Yep. And it's a meaningful contribution. And we try to do the same thing at TNS. You know, bring people on every day who might not even be in the nouniverse, but they're in kind of the periphery of nouns, and it gives them a chance to tell their story. It you know, shows them what nouns is about, and kind of brings their worlds together. That's important public service, I think. I think too, after watching like did you see like any of the videos or things of the Nouns esports, like the commentators, the sports commentators, like wearing goggles and talking about nouns and stuff? It's nuts. I see that, like, you know, OTG can go in that direction. I also see like the Noun Square can go in that direction. Like the Noun Square could be at events doing like live streams and interviewing people. It's the same type of vibe. Well, I'm getting training from the best.
Yes.
Oh, cool. At EthWaterloo.